bishops of the United States have called for a 3-year process of what they're calling a Eucharistic revival, of hoping to bring new energy and vitality to the celebration of the Eucharist in all of the parishes and communities of our nation. And it's interesting, given the readings today, how appropriate they are to such a spirit. The first reading from St. Paul to the Corinthians is probably the oldest, or one of the oldest documents that gives us a sense of how the early Christians celebrated the Eucharist. And, much of the reforms from the Second Vatican Council, their intent has been to return the Church to its most ancient celebration of the Eucharist, to see what wisdom there was from those who were most close historically to the risen Christ. And there's interesting elements in this first reading. The first line is, Paul is talking to them about their meetings. And by meetings, he meant the Eucharist, the community gathered. And we can tell from earlier in the chapter that the early Christians were celebrating the Eucharist on Sunday, not Saturday, because they didn't want to confuse the Eucharist with the Seder or with the Sabbath dinner. And in this first kind of recording of the Eucharist, you hear that people kind of came to have, it was almost like a potluck dinner. People brought food, and in the midst of this communal meal would be the words of the Last Supper. But Paul is getting distressed because at this potluck dinner, the food wasn't being shared, and the very rich had plenty to eat and plenty to drink, and then there were people who came that had nothing, and they were not as fully incorporated into the celebration as they must be. And then he talks about divisions in the community. People on this side and that side, and all this complaining and losing complete sight that the Eucharist is not a forum for, discourse on different opinions about whatever. It's about our unity around the table of the Lord. It is at the table of the Lord that we set aside our differences, our disagreements, our wealth, our poverty. We all are brothers and sisters around this table. And as the bread is broken and the cup is shared, we acknowledge a much deeper union as a baptized Christian by that ritual, that most central ritual of the Christian life. Today, this reading is the reading we proclaim on Holy Thursday. So it is a highly venerated account of that very experience of the early Christians carrying on the mandate of the Lord following the Last Supper. Today we pray that there will indeed be a Eucharistic revival in the life of the Church, that we will continue to persuade all of us to center our faith on the Eucharistic table, to try to resist the temptations of division or arguments or conflicts. They have no place around the table of the Lord, where the bread is broken and this cup is shared. And we know we live at a time of tremendous divisions, not only in the world we live in, but within the Church itself. And the Eucharist can be the reminder to all of us of the Lord's powerful invitation to all of us to come to the table and to come with the spirit of that centurion. Lord, I am not worthy for you to enter my house. None of us is worthy. And the Lord is saying, we're all worthy. Come to the table of the Lord to be fed.
Hello, OLPH. My name is Mary Lynn Januszewski, and I'm the Director of Finance and Operations at Our Lady of Perpetual Help Parish in Glenview, Illinois. And this message comes to you with heartfelt gratitude and thanks for your ongoing generosity and support of OLPH Parish. This overwhelming generosity allows us to continue to serve and to minister to the parish community in so many different ways. So thank you, OLPH, for all you do. You are much appreciated.